Hello and welcome everyone to the Blizzard live stream coming to you from Gamescom in Cologne, Germany. I am Zoe and I'm joined by the lovely Frodan.
Hello, how are you doing?
Doing very well. How are you doing?
Doing fantastic. This is the first Gamescom I've ever been to. I've been to Europe a few times for different events, but it's such a fantastic experience. The energy is electric, and I can't wait to see what we have in store for the stream.
Well, we actually do have a lot in store for the stream, as we will keep you updated on basically everything which is happening throughout the day here at Gamescom.
That's right. The purpose of the stream is to review and preview. We've got a lot of stuff that already got announced by Blizzard. Some people already seen and caught the excitement from the previous days. But we also have some exclusive news, so make sure to stay very closely tuned to what we're about to talk about.
Definitely should do so. Now, there is also a voting going on right now, so please head over to blizzgc.com, because throughout the last 6 weeks, on that website there have been votings going on, and people sent their entries to the contest. They won a lot of really cool goodies from Blizzard, like really cool goodies.
Pretty
now
sweet
we're
swag.
down, yeah, really sweet swag. And now for I think ever since today we have the top 10 out there. Now you can vote on your favorites. So throughout the next few days we're gonna break it down to the top one of the entries. So I'm really excited to see what that's gonna be like.
That's right. There's some epic ones. There's some hilarious ones. I think you guys should go check it out. Again, blizzgc.com. Go vote for your favorite. And we'll go ahead and talk about more things coming out too. It's not just contests, it's not just the evaluation of the content that comes out here, but we also have a lot of game representation too. People are realizing how Gamescom has expanded so much over the years. I was talking to some Blizzard employees. They're saying, yeah, in 2009, 2010, I can't believe how much we've grown so far. It's been absolutely phenomenal.
Definitely has been. Now, of course, like the halls are filled with people. Everything is just like full to the rim, really. It's really hard to get from A to B right now. So we still wanted to kind of show you what's going on. So we, of course, used the press day, or rather I used the press day to like check everything out, make sure you take a look at all the places here at the Blizzard stage. So we're reporting from the Overwatch area, where people for the first time ever can try it out here in Europe. And yeah, they can play the 2 new maps which have been announced, as well as the new hero Lucio. And here in the beautiful StarCraft 2 area, you can actually try out allied commanders. All you have to do is grab a friend or a random stranger you find here in the hall and sit down and play against an AI. In the Heroes of the Storm area, your team will face off against another team which actually sit opposite of you on the table. So, you know, some evil looks can be exchanged, and you have the opportunity here to not just try out the 2 new heroes, the Monk as well as Rexar, but you can also try out the new map. You can't just play the games, you can also go off and pose with your favorite heroes. Playing World of Warcraft is always great fun, but doing so here at Gamescom, live at the booth, is a whole different experience, because look at the unique artwork we have right here in the back, where you can basically play World of Warcraft, and look at all the supervillains you've been facing off against the last few years in all the expansions from World of Warcraft. In this area right here, Blizzard is showcasing all the stuff you can buy either here at the Gamescom in their shop, or in case you haven't managed to come to Gamescom, you can also do that online at gear.blizzard.com. And I'm now standing in the Hearthstone area. Blizzard once more did an amazing job theming all the areas according to the game. And here in the Hearthstone area, you can actually try out some of the new cards from the Grand Tournament. There are 2 pre-made decks everyone can get their hands on and play against each other. Or you can just, chillax and be a bit on the fire, warming your hands.
Better be careful, so you don't want to burn your hands before the stream. What were you doing?
I know,
careful
living
around
life on
there.
the edge. That's what I do.
Right,
And if
dangerous
there is a
one.
fire, I better hold my hands in. That's just a simple rule. No, but
Yeah.
look at those areas. I love them.
Fantastic.
Like they're so nicely themed, and I mean, I really dig the banners this year. They're massive. Like, if my apartment would be any bigger, I'd just bring them all home and
Yeah.
decorate my walls
It's
with
so
it.
fun just to hop between the worlds. You know, we
Yeah.
have the Hearthstone section, which you saw was themed very much like a tavern, and then you have the futuristic Overwatch just inches away, and then you have everything collaborating in the Heroes of the Storm. It's just so cool to see all these worlds collide, and we're going to continue to see more of it in this upcoming stream.
Definitely will be. Now, I mean, I'm aware that a lot of people watching this stream right now, they probably are a bit sad about not making it to Gamescom, and rightfully so, guys.
We're here to
it's
make it
really
feel
cool.
better,
Yeah,
you know,
we
let's be
try
real.
to make you feel better about that. And yeah, as we mentioned before, there are a lot of announcements going on. We already had some during the press conference. Yesterday was the big reveal of the new World of Warcraft expansion, and we of course snuck into both of those and took a little look around to show you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats.
Overwatch is all about the heroes, so please meet Lucio.
Legacy of the Void is the culmination of 17 years of epic storytelling. Yeah.
What I'm most excited to tell you about is a brand new mechanic we're calling jousting.
In addition to working on these big things, we also try to work on some smaller quality of life changes.
We've got a new hero coming to Heroes of the Storm, Rexar, the Hunter from World of Warcraft, Warcraft 3, and Hearthstone.
Are you excited for this expansion or what? Wow.
World of Warcraft Legion. That's the next chapter in the saga of World of Warcraft.
Chills down my spine. I was there front row for the WoW expansion while you were hosting on the stage.
I was about to
Very
say, I
crazy.
was even closer to
I know,
the action.
you were
I was
basically
on
there.
the stage.
You were part of the action. I was just there trying to get a piece of it. It was fantastic.
It really was. I
And
got
it was
goosebumps.
amazing to see the developers share their passion with us as well. And today is going to be very much the same thing. We have the developers here to give you some exclusive looks into both what you saw and what maybe you haven't seen yet.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I can't wait. It's always so great to have developers here, and we have a lot of great games, of course, here at Gamescom, and we're going to talk about those in the show. Today, we're going to have 2 games. Tomorrow, we're going to have Overwatch Legacy of the Void. On Sunday, we have a World of Warcraft special, and yeah, as I said, today, it's going to be Hearthstone, but we start the things off with Heroes of the Storm.
Hi from Cologne, Germany. I'm Dustin Browder, the game director on Heroes of the Storm. I'm incredibly excited to be here at Gamescom at 2015. We've got a great live stream for you tonight. We've got 3 heroes to talk about. We've got Karazim, we've got Artanis, we've got Rexar. We've got a bunch of exciting new features coming to the game, as well as a new hero, so stay tuned.
And then we got 2 lovely guys here in our studio. The guy you just saw, Dustin Browder, as well as Kale Milker, which we had last year already, this time joined by Dustin Browder. Guys, how are you feeling?
Very good, very good. It's amazing to be here at Gamescom.
Yeah, this show is fantastic. It was a blast last year. I'm so happy to be back. Great stuff here.
That's right. So how you guys have enjoyed Gamescom so far? There's been a lot of stuff announced. It's been a whirlwind. How are you guys keeping up with the entire convention so far?
Well, it's been absolutely incredible. We've met so many gamers. I've had a little bit of time to be down here on the show floor, see gamers playing Heroes of the Storm, watching them battle out against one another, you know, get some feedback from these guys. It's been an absolutely amazing experience. There's so many players here that are excited about the work we're doing. It's just very inspiring as a game developer.
That's right. The passion shown by not only just the international fans, but specifically the German fans here have been very rowdy about all your games. It must be a really awesome experience here, KO.
It's amazing. I mean, we make these games and we put them out there and we hope that someone likes them and wants to play them, and you come to something like Gamescom and you're just overwhelmed by the support and the passion and love that people have for these games. So it's great to be a part of it all.
Yeah,
It must be really great for the fans too, because they can literally just walk around and meet the developers who made the games they love and play, right? So that's just an overall great experience. Now, last time we talked about the game, it was in the very early stages. Now, how has the process been ever since the launch?
Yeah, I think last year we were in our tech alpha, I think, still
Yeah.
when we were here. We worked our way through beta, and we had so much support, so much feedback coming from all the people who played our game across tech alpha and beta. We finally launched the game in June, and it was so exciting to finally open it up to everybody. It's free to play, of course, so anyone can come in and play it. It was such an amazing journey, and the journey continues, because with this game, we're not done, right? It's always evolving. We're always making new and better things, making improvements, and it's all really based on the feedback we get from everyone who's playing it.
Right, and you also had recently the internal conflict and everything that comes out from that. How has that process been for you guys too, Dustin?
Well, it's been really cool to be able to add all of these Diablo heroes and Diablo battlegrounds into the Nexus. We had sort of a lack of Diablo heroes in terms of representation. We got the chance to finally get all of these Diablo characters, especially heroes like Leoric, the Butcher, all into the game. Just an absolute blast to be able to really focus on Diablo.
Right, so let's go ahead and just start and talk about some of the details that people have revealed so far. We have Kazarim here as one of our first new heroes, so can we go ahead and just hear more about it at all?
So Karazim is the monk that we've added to Heroes of the Storm. We had this real need to add a Diablo support character that wasn't a character you could really play before, so if you love Diablo and you love support, you really didn't have a chance to play him. Of course, if you wanted to double dip your quests by Diablo quests and support quests, you didn't have that chance either.
Right.
So it seems like it would be a really great addition to the game, and so we were looking for a Diablo sort, and we found Karazim. Now, Karazim's very special. He's got a lot of special abilities that make him very powerful. You can see his 7-sided strike here. You can spec him as a damage dealer using that heroic ability. Here it is again, where he's blasting away at a bunch of very damaged heroes, just wiping them out all at once. If you prefer to play him as a dedicated support, you can do so with Divine Palm. And if you manage to kill somebody, while the Divine Palm is on them, instead they get an immediate instant heal that gets them right back into the action. What's also exciting about Karazim is you can use our talent system, which is really a customized shop per character, to really decide how you want to build him. You can build him as a damaged character, you can build him as more of a support character, and you can sort of divide between the two. So he's really using our talent system in a whole new way. Since his abilities are such short-ranged abilities, you really got to position him really correctly. And so you'll see Karazim players trying to use their Q ability to dash to allies, dash to enemies, and really try to get exactly the right position on the battlefield. It's a very high skill cap character to really use effectively.
Yeah, that was one of my questions, like how difficult will Karazim be? And it looks very hard, at least for me, maybe not for the rest of the gamers who are very fluent with those kinds of characters.
I love that you pointed at me like she got the skills,
She's got it down.
she's got it. She's got, yeah, obviously I would.
Yeah.
How does it fit in, in terms of his support role, if you compare it to the others?
Well, we're not sure 100% yet. We're going to put him up, on PTR here pretty soon, and we'll get a chance to test him with a lot of players. But, we believe that you can really spec him as a dedicated support using Divine Palm, and he's got a lot of abilities and talents that really allow him to support that core role. Again, if you want to spec him more for damage, that is definitely an option. We're trying to walk the line to allow you to really do both. We've never really done a hero that was so sort of open in this respect. We've obviously got hybrid supports like Tassadar and Tehran, and a lot of players I think legitimately feel they can't be solo supports. We believe that we've got a character here who can be a solo support, or if you choose, using the talent system, you can make him much more of a dedicated sort of self-healing assassin.
What kind of maps do you think Karazim would immediately fit in based off of initial testing and that you guys have seen on the early designs?
Well, any map that's got a lot of choke points is going to be a little bit to his advantage in the sense that he can probably avoid a lot of the incoming fire that may try to hit him. He's obviously looking for any kind of place where he can work well. I think team composition is going to be more important to him than Battleground.
Okay,
He's going to look for the type of tanks that want to get up there and get stuck in. At the same time, it can maybe protect him when he dives in to heal them.
Yeah.
So maybe your Arthuses might be very strong with this guy, but I don't really know for sure. We're really going to have to test him with the community and find out.
Sounds good, sounds good. Now, we do have another hero that you announced on Wednesday. We had Rexxar from the old Warcraft series, one of the most beloved heroes in the entire Warcraft lore, and a lot of people will immediately compare it to the Beastmaster design of how you had. What similarities did you guys draw from back then and now?
Well, we were literally looking at Rexxar. He's obviously come with us quite a ways. He's also the hunter now in Hearthstone
right.
as well.
Oh, I know.
We really went back to Warcraft.
Yeah.
Warcraft 3 for his core kit. We've got a guy who's throwing axes, and he's working with Misha the bear. This is his pet that he can work with to effectively manage the battlefield. You don't control him like you would Lost Vikings. Misha is tied to Rexxar, and they work together as a team. So you can direct Misha by attacking enemies. He'll attack what you're attacking. You can call him home to you if you need to. You can charge with Misha past enemies, stunning them as Misha runs through, and then Misha will also body block for you if necessary. So it's really about working with Misha. It's more like a World of Warcraft hunter and his pet working together as a team, trying to overcome the opponent. We wanted to have a strong connection between Misha and Rexar, so you're working as a unit on the battlefield. If Misha is killed, she will respawn automatically after a little bit, but Rexar without Misha is a sad Rexar. He's not very effective without Misha, and this is what makes him kind of a strange range tank character with Misha as a melee character. He's a very unusual character. It's a very unique style of play.
All right, well, I mean, I'm as a Warcraft 3 fan, I'm super excited about that. And I actually love the fact that you have to work so closely with Misha because, as you said, they belong together. It's Rexar and Misha, not just Rexar, not just Misha. That's not working.
We did have an early version where they controlled like Lost Vikings, but by accident or on purpose, the two characters ended up very separated. It just didn't feel right. These two need to be together, working as a unit.
I'm sure the two of them are happy about that. So yeah, thanks from them.
Yeah,
me.
that's right. That's right. I do know a lot of people who are both fans of Heroes and Hearthstone. Like, where's the Huffer? Where we want to see that companion. But I think Misha there is definitely good enough. I love where you guys are going with design. And of course, we're not done there just yet. We also had a new map that was introduced. We had Shrines. We basically have a lot of videos available to check out the entire map. What was some of the inspiration there behind creating this map, Shrines, and where did you guys end up going with it?
So, the Eternal Conflict was all about bringing the world of Sanctuary, the Diablo universe, into Heroes of the Storm, and it was our first time that we really did that in terms of bringing it into a battleground. Prior to that, it was all Nexus battlegrounds, which were these fun new worlds that we kind of invented. But Infernal Shrines was really about getting more of that flavor of the Diablo universe in, and as you're seeing here, something really special about this battleground. It's a 3-lane battleground. It's all about laning, but the mechanic on this map, the objective is shrine spawn, that if you kill 30 skeletons at this shrine, if your team is the first one to kill these 30 skeletons, you're going to spawn one of these guys. These guys are called Punishers. These guys are badasses.
Are they punishing?
Yeah,
yes.
so previous to this, all of our boss monsters that you were able to kind of spawn on our battlegrounds, they were all about sieging. They're all about going after towers and towns and working their way to the core. The Punisher is all about heroes. He wants heroes. He is after them. And he'll go after them to the point that he actually leaps past gates. He'll go into the enemies' back towns. He'll chase them far across the map. He's just all over them. And it really changes up the way the battleground plays. It changes the way the enemy team has to deal with them. And it gives your team an opportunity to do other things while your Punisher is out there beating up on enemy heroes.
That sounds like a really interesting change of pace there as well. I really like that.
Different.
I'm curious too, like, what do you guys see in this battlefield? Like, what some of the heroes or team compositions that you really see being able to flourish on it? Because we want to be able to talk a little bit more about strategy, right? That's the whole point of seeing this new map, introducing a new opportunity for team composition to really flourish.
Well, we've obviously seen, any hero that has enough mobility to avoid or kite the Punisher. A character like Vala can be pretty decent on this map. Some of the characters that suffer maybe a little bit. I'm not sure 100% yet. We're going to test it with the community, but we believe that some of the characters that suffer a little bit more, heroes like Kale or Jaina, that can't really slow it down, that have no ability to really get out of the way. Obviously, you're going to want a really strong, self-sustaining main tank to absorb the damage from this character. When you're going for the shrines themselves, all of these shrines have affixes on them, and so you're going to want to get the right shrine at the right time, but the shrines themselves require a lot of ability to kill minions very, very quickly. So you're looking, again, Vala might be a strong choice in this position. She can use her multi-shot, and she's effective when the Punisher, should her team lose that engagement. Warriors with more area effect abilities that can simply walk up next to the shrine, take a bunch of damage from the enemy team, and again, be able to deal out damage to nearby opponents. Man, it might be effective on this battleground to allow you to both kill the skeletons and to absorb the incoming fire of your opponents.
That's perfect for me. Val's my highest level character,
There you go.
and it's basically my main character at this point. So thank you very much, Blizzard, for designing it just for me.
Buffs for you.
Just for you, just for you. Now, that's a lot of exciting changes. Now, really can't wait to play all of that. Now, here we, of course, on the show floor have people playing Heroes of the Storm, and we also had show matches going on the main stage, and they have been very interesting because Blizzard grabbed some famous YouTubers, be them, like some of them might have been like semi-pro at the game, but others really not that much. So it was very fun to watch, and we actually took a look at it and also talked to the players afterwards a little bit. by the winning team of our Heroes of the Storm show match. First of all, of course, congratulations to the whole team. It was a close one, but it was a pleasure to watch. Now, of course, first question, how much practice time did you actually have? Did you get together to practice?
No, we just played for the first time, but everyone has already played the game and played a lot, so it was fun. Really good to play together, yeah.
So it looked close from the audience perspective, but how did it feel for you guys? Did you feel like it was a really close match?
At the beginning, it was going really good, but in the middle, it was like, oh, I thought maybe we could lose, but at the end, it was like, okay, we're just going for it. Like, it's all or nothing. So I don't know. It was a good match. It was really like tight, so it was good.
What's your favorite aspect of it? What do you enjoy the most?
Actually, I love the World of Warcraft characters, especially Lily, actually. That's my favorite part of it because, you know, all of Blizzard universe is in the game, so actually that's my favorite part of it.
Well said. Well, once more, I don't want to keep you much longer, so thanks a lot for joining me. Congratulations. It was a pleasure watching you.
Congratulations, man. They did pretty well. I saw
really
some of the game.
did.
Yeah, and it was fantastic.
You know what the fun thing about this very match was on stage yesterday? That the German team, they are actually playing as a team very often together. So they have been, they had some practice. Whereas the other team, which basically looked like out of a model catalog, like, let's face it, they're all like
there's some good-looking people.
Super handsome guys, super pretty girls, and they went up on stage, and I was standing in the audience listening, and everyone was like, well, that's going to be one-sided, or those chicks are going to lose, like, that's not going to be an interesting game. They crushed the German team.
Right.
They crushed him.
And they were even better looking after they won.
Yeah, right.
I didn't know how that was possible.
Win-win.
Weird. Yeah. Well, I mean, we saw the show match there. We had a lot of fun, and we also revealed some of the hero stuff too, but we also were promised, there's a little hinted on the Wednesday broadcast that there's got to be more, right? But wait, there's more. So guys, now that you're here and we got you settled down and a little comfortable, what's coming next? What do you guys have for us?
Well, we've got a bunch of stuff that we're working on in the studio all the time, and we have another hero that we'd like to show you guys here today.
All right.
We've got the medic from StarCraft 2 coming to Heroes of the Storm, or the original StarCraft as well from Brood War, coming to the game, and this is a powerful support character that can single target healing. This is a character that can throw some grenades to disrupt the enemy, and she's got a shield that she can use to help out her allies as well. She's a very strong, dedicated, support character that it will add a lot of supports to the game. We've heard from a lot of our players they need more supports, especially with the double ban system we're using these days, and we think this will help round out our roster quite a little bit.
Now, I did hear you say the medic from StarCraft 2, but in StarCraft 2, there's the medevac, which is still a little bit different, so there seems to be a little bit more to the medic than we've seen.
We've incorporated the medevac into the design of the medic as well, and this is one of her heroic abilities. You can actually use the medevac to move around the battlefield if you want to choose this heroic. So you can see here we've got Vala and the medic have just managed to gather some coins on Blackheart's Bay. And this is a little demo. You can actually use it much more strategic, I'm showing here, but you can summon the medevac and the medic hops in, and there's a little bit of a countdown timer there. Vala can jump in as well, and when you're ready, you can launch yourself across the battlefield to a completely different location and land and then begin to engage in other activities. Now, that was a very short-range medevac move. You can go much further than that, but it's very important for the team to be very coordinated to use this ability. This is a very teamwork-oriented ability. You really want to coordinate with your allies before you even take this heroic, but if you do, and you know what you're doing with it, it can be absolutely devastating. You can, win a battle at a fort, maybe get a little bit of an advantage, fly immediately to a boss, jump to an objective. Your team can be all over the map in a very short amount of time. And again, teams that know what they're doing can make some incredible plays. You're giving up a heroic on what is probably your dedicated, support character. So if you don't know what you're doing, this can be a real mess. But if you've got the skills, if you've got the coordination, the power that this kind of mobility can bring, a highly skilled team is absolutely devastating.
Yeah, we've seen in the past with different heroes already, Falstad being able to have a strong mobility has definitely helped in the past. So I'm really excited, all right? I like to see more of that support because a lot of people say like, well, I want to do the damage, but being able to work as a team, so key, and I'm looking forward to the medic a lot.
Definitely. Now, a lot of people in the community have been talking about the matchmaking a lot lately.
Yes, this is definitely our highest priority at this point going forward on Heroes. We've heard that feedback from our players. Keo and I play together almost every night at this point. Our tech director plays, everybody's playing the game. Most of Blizzard at this point is playing Heroes of the Storm. So we see exactly the same thing you guys are seeing. So when you guys say to us, hey, matchmaking, we can go, Yeah, you know, I saw something similar last night while I was playing as well, and that allows us to certainly sync up with the community.
Yeah, I mean, it's really great to see that the feedback reaches you guys and you also review that kind of stuff. Now, the change to rank will be very exciting for everyone, but how much will that actually influence the matchmaking?
Well, I'll tell you what's going to go on with ranked. Going forward, we're going to make some big changes in our next patch. We've had a bunch of work that we've been doing. We've been getting a lot of reaction from a lot of players. The original system was designed so that after about 20 or 25 games, we had a decent idea of where you were in the matchmaker, and then we would require you 100 games or thereabouts to get to your level. This was not ultimately what was good. This is not what our community was after. This did not work out for us at all. And it was something that we just weren't happy with, having tested it for a couple of months. We finally got some time to go back and re-engineer this system. So what we've done now is we're going to still require 20 or 25 games to put you into placement matches. And you're going to play 20 to 25 placement matches. I don't think we've worked out the exact number yet. Sure. Once we've placed you, then we're going to put you pretty much where you belong. We might be a little bit off, but probably not too badly. And if we are, we'll adjust it, no big deal. But we'll get you to where you're placed. So when you see somebody in placement matches, you'll know we're still figuring out where that guy is. And when you see somebody with an actual rank, you'll know that's pretty close to where he belongs. Right now, players might be seeing somebody that, why am I playing with this level 30 guy? I'm level 21. This is garbage. Well, actually, that guy's trending towards 21. It's just he hasn't gotten those placement matches yet. So that'll certainly help a lot of the clarity. Then when we receive feedback from players like, hey, I got matched with somebody of the wrong rank, we'll go, really? That's really much more useful information. Right now, there's so much noise in the system. We don't really know how seriously to take that feedback because that person could be headed to you, but we don't know for sure. We're also going to be getting rid of the concept of a separate team league in the game. This was something we were really excited about, but hasn't really taken on with gamers. We've played in it ourselves, and it's just too hard to get players together on the same team every night to play your matches. So, you know, we have a team that we play with. We've definitely played some games. We haven't been able to keep up with. There's always some members missing from the team, and we always end up defaulting back to Hero League, like many of our players as well. So what we're going to do is have a ranked play mode. You'll be able to play in a queue that's 1 to 4 players, and you'll have a separate queue that's 5 players only. But it can be any 5 players in that queue, and so you can kind of free to sort of mix and match with different players given who's online on a given evening. And that will further separate the 5-man teams from the 1 to 4-man teams. So we were always generally matching the 5-man teams, unless you were in a small country late at night on a Sunday. You were probably getting 5-man versus 5-man, but just in case, they are now completely firewalled off in their own pool, and you'll never see them in the 1 to 4-man area.
That's fantastic.
Wow, we got blasted with information there.
That was a lot. I didn't even expect him to reveal that much about it, but no, that's really great to hear, and it really sounds like the ranked system now comes a bit closer to like the hidden MMR?
It'll be much more realistic. So basically, while we're determining your hidden MMR, we're also determining your rank, and we should be able to get you. Then after that, if you want to go up, you're going to have to really improve your skills to get there. And so that will hopefully be a lot more transparent to players. This is something a little bit more similar to what we had in StarCraft, and so we're sort of going back a little bit more in that direction. So far, it feels really good to us. We've had good feedback from the people we've talked about it with, but it's a work in progress. If we get different feedback, we're not shy, we're not ashamed, we'll change it again if we absolutely need to.
That's great.
When it comes to the core matchmaking, obviously we want to keep doing improvements there as well. We've got engineers dedicated to nothing but that going forward. We've recently introduced a few changes that have made it a little bit better. One of the concerns we had from players was, hey, I've been playing for 500 games. I know I'm not that good, but I just got matched with somebody who's played 50 games. Maybe he's coming from another game in the genre. He's actually almost as good as I am, but he doesn't know the game nearly as well as I do, and I get very frustrated playing with him because I know how the map objectives work, I know how the talent system works, I know how to fight maybe as a team better than he does. This guy's driving me a little crazy. Can you get him by himself with other players that are new to the game? And so we made that change recently, and it's up wait times by about 20 or 30 seconds, but the feedback so far from our players has been pretty positive. So we're going to keep that change and continue to look for more changes that help matchmaking going forward.
Sorry about that. I'm that guy that people complain about.
That's okay.
Not having the experience. They're like, oh, wow, I have Frodan again on my team. My takeaway from all that is I probably shouldn't finish my placement matches because I'm not ready to face the truth about my real skill because I like to complain a lot. I guess in this case, I'll just play the 20 matches and just kind of hold off on the last 5 there. Thank you so much for sharing. I guess my follow-up question is, with all these changes, when can we expect something like a new season to be arising?
Well, that's a question we get quite a bit. We've gone a little bit longer, I think, than anyone would like in the preseason. You can see we're making a bunch of changes. So we're going to be in preseason a little bit longer while we evaluate the quality of those changes and see if this feels like a more legitimate test of our player skill than the system we had in play previously. We'd also really like to get a Grandmaster League in play before we go to the new season. And that's something that we're going to be actively working on and discussing with our community in the weeks and months to come. So it's going to be a little bit longer in preseason. We'd ask our players to remain a little bit patient with us while we round out these last little bits on our ranked play and really try to bring it home.
Now, of course, Frodo and me are not the only people who have questions for you guys. No, we actually went through the halls here at the Blizzard booth and asked some visitors if they have anything they want to ask the Heroes of the Storm team. So let's take a look at the first question.
My name is Roman Jenisch. My question is when the new heroes will be released. Will they come at once or will they be splitted for 2 weeks or something like that?
I want to know too. Tell me now.
So throughout Tech Alpha and Beta, we tried all different timings on our heroes. We went as long as 6 to 7 weeks between hero releases, and that was way too long. That was too long for us. That was too long for our players. Agreed. We're now settling down where 3 to 4 weeks is where we want to be consistently. So players can expect to see these heroes coming out at that kind of a cadence moving forward. There may be opportunities sometimes where we do it a little faster than that. If something goes wrong along the way with testing, some may go a little longer, but we're always going to work really hard to keep it about in that time frame. I can say for this new content we announced here, Infernal Shrines and Karzim, our monk, they're actually coming to the game very soon. We actually are going to have them in PTR, if all goes well, starting on Monday. So players will be able to come see them out very shortly here. We're really excited to get that feedback, and of course, depending on how that goes, they should get into the game very shortly after that.
Yeah, very soon indeed. Yeah. Well, that's a great response. I mean, we have a couple more questions too, so let's go take a look at the second question to see what they have for the Blizzard devs here.
My name is Manuel Holtruster. How many maps did you plan for the game?
Well, I mean, that's a pretty tough question to answer there.
Well, when it comes to Battlegrounds, we don't know really what our limits at this point are. We're up to 9 Battlegrounds with Infernal Shrines, and we're obviously working on more Battlegrounds going forward. We have heard some feedback from a lot of players now that our game has become too complicated and too difficult for them to really master, that there's simply too many Battlegrounds in play at one moment. And many games are used to only one map or a couple of maps, and so now that we've got 9 in play, it's a concern. We're certainly open to feedback on that, and there may be a point in the future here, and I don't know when this would happen, where we might go to a smaller set and rotate them over time. So we might have a season or a month or a couple weeks, and we're talking to players. We'll be talking to more players here tomorrow and on Sunday as well to sort of float some ideas to them and see what they think. How many maps should be in play at one moment? How often should they change out, and kind of get some feedback for that.
That's awesome. You guys are so open to the community's discussion
that's really
about
nice.
that, and that's really cool. That's
it
really
definitely
cool.
is. Now, we have one more question for you.
My name is Fabian Prinz, and my question is, sometimes you buy bundles with heroes you already own. Will you fix it?
All right.
So will you fix it?
Yeah, so we're talking about bundles. So yeah, currently in the game, the way it's always been is that if you buy a bundle and you've already bought a hero individually, you end up basically double purchasing that hero. And that's something that we never wanted it that way, but we didn't have the game in a place yet that we could support it. I'm happy to say we have that coming very soon here. We're calling that dynamic bundles. And so if you've already purchased something and then you go and you want to buy a bundle, that bundle price is going to be discounted based on whatever content you already own.
Oh, that's
so
nice.
That'll be coming very soon here. And we're thrilled to finally get it in, and thank you for bearing with us. And I can say too that players who have already purchased things and have double purchased some items, we are looking out for you. We are going to take that into account, and we do have plans on how to help you out with that. So we'll have more information on it very soon here, but you can expect dynamic bundles shortly.
That was my follow-up question, so thank you so much for going ahead and preemptively taking this. It's good. Good.
Well, thanks a lot for the answers, and I mean, it's great for the people, right? You can just go to an event, casually ask questions to developers of the games. Why not?
I don't know if they were expecting it, but that's what they got.
Why not?
And I mean, it was a lot of fun. It was very informative, though. You guys dropped a lot of knowledge. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you. Yeah, I hope we have you again next year. And keep on doing the awesome job you're doing. I can't wait to see what's coming up next for Heroes of the Storm.
Thanks, guys.
All right, so with that, we are... All right, guys. So now that Hero Storm is out of the way, but we'll be seeing it back in the future for more content and more announcements. But we also have a second game feature here on the stream.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you were gonna announce it because it's your thing.
I was trying to build up the hype. I was trying to build up the hype.
It didn't really feel like building the hype.
All right.
But let me do that for you.
Let's
now,
go ahead
the next
and
game
try
is
that
something
again.
he's very excited about. That's of course Hearthstone.
Hi, my name is Mike Donnet. I'm a senior game designer on Hearthstone, and I'm here at Gamescom in Germany playing some Hearthstone myself. We've got some awesome stuff in the stream today. We're going to talk to you about the Joust mechanic, and we're going to show off some cards that haven't been revealed before. It's going to be great. Stay and watch.
We're joined on the desk by Mike Donnet, as you just saw in the video, as well as Hamilton Chu, and we have a very, very special guest. It's Crip.
Well, I don't know if I deserve two varies, but thank you.
Well, I mean, you're not a Blizzard
I'm actually kind of humbled to be
developer.
here.
Yeah, but it's great to be here.
I play their game.
Oh, do you?
Yeah,
That's awesome.
It's a good one. You should try it.
That's why you're so special.
Yeah, I guess.
That's right.
That's right.
How have you guys enjoyed the Gamescom so far?
Oh, it's been insane. I mean, I've been to BlizzCon. BlizzCon's great, but this is big. Like
It
scary
is.
big.
Scary big.
Yeah. Like BlizzCon is the biggest event I've been to before this one. And I was like, wow, looks pretty cool. And then there was another hall. And then there was like 5 more halls.
Yeah, it's like, but wait, there's more times 15.
Right.
Yeah.
It just keeps going. On the media day, we got to see a lot of stuff, and there was still, an infinite amount of stuff left to see.
Yeah, and I also saw you getting swarmed by fans, too. A lot of people love you out here in Germany and Europe, so it must be a really good experience to have that, too.
Yeah, it does feel good.
Yeah,
Does feel good. The end. How about you guys? How has it been so far?
Gamescom has been awesome for me. I've never been to Gamescom before. I've been to a lot of different other conventions, but this one is the biggest I've ever been to. I also love Europe and Germany. It's fantastic. I love the food here. I love the people here. And it's great seeing so many fans. Like, I see people cosplaying Blizzard characters and enjoying our game, and it's just been fantastic.
And Hamilton, how about you?
Yeah, it's amazing. I've been here a couple times, and every time it just gets bigger and crazier. There's so many people here, but not just people. Like, they're all super passionate fans of games. Every year, the Blizzard booth just gets more and more epic. Like, look at all this art around. It's nuts. So
Yeah, doesn't it? It just looks
amazing.
so great. And I mean, the Hearthstone area is super comfy once more. Like, that's always like such
Very
a chill
comfy.
area
That's why
to
it's
be
my
at.
favorite, man.
Yeah, right?
Hearthstone always knows how to relax. and
Top
have fun.
priority, comfort.
Yeah.
Comfort.
Thank
That's
you.
a good high priority. Now, the Grand Tournament, it's something everyone is so hyped about. How are you feelings about the expansion?
I'm super excited about Grand Tournament. Grand Tournament is like a culmination of like all of the Hearthstone ideas together. It's got knights coming from different areas. It's got Joust. It's got Inspire. It's really cool. It's the best part about it is how it brings different characters that are not normal knights, like a Murloc riding a frog or a Tuskar.
What do you mean, not the normal night?
That's right.
Right, and this kind of stuff is what makes Hearthstone different from other games. It's just lighthearted and cool and fun.
That's right.
It's definitely fun.
You did mention the mechanics, Joust and Inspire. Can you go ahead and talk about some of the process of it, of how you guys created it, and maybe even why you included it into the expansion to be the focus of it?
Sure, yeah. Joust came from a couple different things. First of all, Joust really matched the flavor of the set. We wanted to capture the idea of knights fighting, and Joust definitely does that really well. We also wanted to give people options. If they felt like they're getting overrun by fast creatures, Joust is perfect, because what it does is each player reveals a random minion from their deck, and whoever has if you have the more expensive minion, you win the Joust, and you get a bonus. So if you're playing against a deck with lots of small minions, Joust is something you want to add to your deck to beat it. And giving people options is what Hearthstone's all about, and just you have to decide how to use them.
And Hamilton, what about Inspire? What came from that?
I love Inspire so much. It's such a fun mechanic, and like Mike was talking, it really lends itself into the feel of the tournament. I think you get the idea of these knights, like Mike mentioned, stepping it up, being filled with power and inspiration and going forth. And it also puts a spotlight on your class and your hero, which I love. I love when I'm playing Priest, because I play Priest in WoW too, you use your hero power, you feel very priestly, you're healing stuff. And in the Grand Tournament, with the Inspire mechanic and some of the other stuff, you're just doing that more. And I think that's very satisfying. And Inspire also, I think does some very interesting mechanical things. It changes the value of your hero power and your opponent's hero power. So now, that calculation, which already was pretty interesting, is that much more kind of subtle and nuanced, which I think adds a lot of dimension to the game.
That was one of the, the arguments, right? It's the fact that hero powers now become way more dynamic. Before you have maybe one or two things that change hero powers, a card, or maybe even, the hero like Jiraxis. But now all of a sudden, there's a lot of things you have to account for, and there's a lot of possibilities. I'm really excited.
So am I. Now, maybe, Kriparin, you as a pro player, you already tried it out. You saw the jousting, you saw the Inspire. What are your thoughts about those mechanics?
I actually got a chance at Gamescom to play the first time with the Inspire mechanic. I got, bit of an opportunity to understand the mechanic by watching the games, really thinking about the cards and commentating other players play with them. But having first-hand experience, I was actually really impressed with the Inspire mechanic. It really does add an insane amount of depth to the game. I played one of the Shaman decks. I know it wasn't available here, but I got a chance to sneak around with it. And combining Overload and Inspire makes it so it's so hard to actually plan out the future turns, which is a habit you normally have playing Hearthstone. So I think experienced players will enjoy the depth, and I think new players will just enjoy the variety. So yeah, really good stuff. But speaking about your question with like kind of how this came about, I actually wanted to ask the devs, was Floating Watcher like the lead-in to the Inspire mechanic?
That's right.
Floating Watcher is the Warlock card that whenever you take damage, he gets a bonus. He wasn't particularly Inspired. He's going to go well in the Inspired decks, and we like to have cards in sets around a focused set that help that set. So if there's a set about mechs, we like to have mechs in sets before and after it. Set about Inspire, we'll have cards before and after it that interact with it. We think that's a healthy way to design.
Wow, that's really cool. So you guys, everyone knows that you're planning way in advance, and it's really cool to see the fruits of your labor be able to be reaped now. But we also have some extra cool stuff too, because it's not about what's been revealed, but what will be revealed. Isn't that right, Zoe?
Dun, dun, dun. Exactly. I have been told that you actually have a few surprises for us here on the stream.
That's what I want to know, man.
Yeah, we're going to reveal some more cards today. 5 new cards.
That's right. So, is there any card, before we do it, let's go ahead and just ask Crips. Crips is a very big person that does a lot of commentary on Hearthstone, both in the active, but also the potential of Hearthstone. Is there any cards that you like to see explored a little bit now that you play with Inspire cards?
Yeah, I like to see more Inspire cards. Inspire is a good mechanic. If you just look at any standalone card with Inspire, you're typically not going to be like, wow, I need this in my deck, it's so powerful. But the aspect of having multiple triggers for Inspire at the same time make the Inspire mechanic much stronger. And we're really missing the quantity, so maybe you guys can deliver today.
He wants all of them revealed today. That's what Crib is.
Just bring it all.
We can't do that,
it's okay.
but some. I think we had one more question too before.
Yeah, definitely. So something I'm really interested in, because I'm a massive World of Warcraft fan, and how do you guys choose the characters? Like, who makes a decision like, I want to have this one in the game now? What's the process there?
It's really fun kind of approaching that, because I think all of us have a great affection for the Warcraft universe, whether it's World of Warcraft or Warcraft 1, 2, and 3. So it's very easy and natural, even early on in Hearthstone or even before, where we sit around and just kind of reminisce about the amazing things that we did when we were mighty. And so for the Grand Tournament, it really flowed from all our experience with the Argent Tournament during Wrath of the Lich King and what fun we had there. And that was just something very cool, but it was also something kind of very dark. We were trying to defeat the Lich King, and it was tough times for everyone. And so we thought, wow, if we could, if we can do the Hearthstone thing to it, like how much fun would that be? And that really led into this feel of Grand Tournament, where we want all these knights from across the land just coming together and doing some fun, goofy stuff, doing some, over-the-top powerful stuff too, and really just kind of going nuts with it.
Yeah, I love the art for, like, for example, the mech knight. It just kind of looks ridiculous. He's just a little mech thing, but in a huge armor suit, and his entire horse is also
you won't
decorated.
Say that
it's
once,
hilarious,
once
man.
he kills you.
Yeah,
more
probably not.
For him.
I probably don't like dying to mechs already, so dying to even more mechs is not the case, but we'll see. Maybe you'll introduce some cards that I will like to see maybe beating me once in a while. What's our first card that we're going to see tonight, Mike?
Our first card, I believe, is Flash Heal. No.
Ooh.
Oh.
No. Warhorse Trainer.
Our first card is Warhorse Trainer. Warhorse Trainer is a Paladin card. It's 3 mana, 2/4, and it gives all of your recruits +1 attack.
Wow, and that's a Paladin-specific card, and it's permanent. There's no battle cry effect. It happens one time. It's just a permanent buff.
It's while he's alive. If he dies, the bonus goes away. But if you make more recruits after he shows up, they're going to get this bonus too. So this has a lot of interaction with Paladin hero power. You know, even though it's not specifically Inspire, it actually does indirectly interact with hero powers, right? If you can use your hero power twice and summon 2 recruits, they'll both get a bonus.
All right, Crip, what's your initial thoughts here?
Well, it seems, again, it encourages you to use your hero power. It's not exactly Inspire, but just that theme kind of ties all these cards together. I really like the card. It seems like a pretty powerful one. If you get that unfortunate situation where you have to hero power on turn 2 as a Paladin, dropping that 1/1 feels a lot less damning when you have a card like that, because being able to buff the attack of your 1/1 creature to be able to maybe kill like a Knife Juggler or another 2-health creature your opponent is likely to play in that situation. And 2/4, it's good enough stats.
Yeah,
so any
reasonable.
card that's good in the early game and any card that has combo potential in the late game, just a good card.
I'm just
a good
afraid
card.
of dying to too many Silverhand recruits now. You already have the Quartermaster. You have more ways to gain Silverhand recruits, and it's like, when will the madness stop? Especially if they start buffing them even more. I don't want to die to just people calling me to battle. That's just not how I want it to be, but you know what? Maybe I can live for it if Paladin continue to see more growth in all kinds of archetypes. Love it. Love it so far. We have a second card as well that we want to reveal, so you mentioned one, Mike. I'm pretty sure maybe that's coming up here.
Ooh,
there it is.
Heal.
Flash Heal.
Flash Heal.
Wow.
So there was 2 things that we went for when we tried to design this card.
Okay.
We noticed that priests don't have a simple just heal card, right? They're priests. They should have a heal card, right?
Well, the joke was that Paladin out-healed Priest sometimes.
Yeah, it just didn't make sense.
Yes.
And then we're always looking for like simple, clean designs so that when new players come along, the game is approachable to them. It's perfect for us to do a common like this. It fills both roles well. What do you think about it, Crip?
I don't know if the camera picks up like the resolution, but I just see Akanai Soul Priest in my eyes. Right now.
That's right. Why run Mind Blast? Or maybe run 4 Mind Blasts now.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a theme that we saw start up with the Blackrock Mountain expansion, with Emperor Tharson being able to combo out some crazy damage. We even saw that in Priest, so maybe we can see more of that in Priest. As a heal card standalone, I have to say it's hard to be excited about heals. But when you can transition to damage, having that flexibility makes it a really cool card. It's just very tough to really assess how strong it's really going to be.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
you guys maybe have a better idea.
I was about to ask. You guys probably tested the cards before you came up with them.
A little bit.
How do you feel it works in
it opens up
specific
more
decks?
options for you. Obviously, with Akanai Soul Priest, it'll do def 5 damage instead of heal 5. I've also seen people use it with Light Bane and Dark Bane, because when you heal them with this card, they actually get a buff. They trigger their special abilities. But in general, we're going to have to... We put things out there, tools to experiment with. Priests have a lot of other cards that trigger off healing, so we give you more options to heal with. You pick the ones that you like best, and we see what happens.
Yeah, I'm definitely very excited to see if Priest can come back. I'm a little bit jittery right now because I love to see the new card, because I'm like, well, I'm starting to really theory craft. But we still have more. We have one more card to reveal to you guys, at least for now. Maybe we have a little bit more in the future. What's in store, Hamilton?
I think next one is Living Roots, which is a 1-cost Druid card, and it gives you the choice between dealing 2 damage to something or spawning 2 1/1 saplings.
Okay. And the saplings, any specific type of tribe at all, or does it belong to something like beasts? Or
No, it's just a simple 1/1 minion. It has no tribe.
All right, Crip, your thoughts on that card? Wow.
The first things that come to my head, because you guys switched to me pretty quick. I mean, I'm
I know,
seeing
right?
these for the
Because
first
you
time.
looked at it so intensely.
Yeah, what comes to mind is it makes the token druid a lot cooler. The synergy is obviously Violet Teacher. The problem in the past when you tried to use like some of the old cards that worked once upon a time, maybe they work again. You can maybe run like Soul to Forest. Soul to Forest puts Death Rattle on each of your creatures, and when they die, you pop out a 2/2 Treant. With that card and Violet Teacher, you have like a 3-card super combo.
I agree.
Yeah, it just allows for some really interesting things. It doesn't seem like ridiculously overpowered or anything. Like if you wanted 2 damage, you have a better claw. If you wanted just a better presence on the board, often there's better 1-drops. So Druid's kind of like the king of flexibility, and having, you know, this little bit of maybe a combo enabler maybe makes some cool decks possible, or revives some old ones again.
I do think so too. You know, a lot of times Druid does struggle with early game options if you don't draw those very important spells to get you rolling. Sometimes it just gets too slow. You don't have board, you don't have ways to remove, and you see it so many times that these aggressive decks can take advantage of that Druid's tempo and just run away with the game. I think giving more options to Druid in the early game, fantastic choice. Whether or not it's super effective, or maybe some people need to see more cards for it to get some ideas, we have to see.
Yeah, well, guys, we're going to unveil some more cards soon, but before that, let's not forget where we are. We are at Gamescom, and Frodan, I saw you spent a lot of time in the Hearthstone area, making new friends, playing some Hearthstone, so let's take a look what you have been up to.
Hey guys, it's Frodan here at Gamescom 2015 over at the Hearthstone section. There are hundreds of people lining up to test the Grand Tournament cards. I'm really excited to see what the new expansion will reveal, but I'm also excited to meet some of the fans here who have waited hours in line to see what the new content will be. So let's go ahead and meet some of them and see what they love about Hearthstone. How long have you been playing Hearthstone?
For about a year.
Who introduced Hearthstone to you?
It was my friends.
How did it happen?
Yeah, we were talking about it. They told me I'm playing a new game and would you join? And I said, yeah, I'm interested.
What's your favorite moments of Hearthstone? Like your favorite deck to win with, or your favorite card, or like a favorite cool scenario? Is there anything specific that like really appeals to you about it?
My favorite moment is the moment of lethal. When I see, okay, it's lethal, I won.
I wanted to know, how long have you been playing Hearthstone?
This is my first time playing.
Here at Gamescom is your first time playing. Have you had any card game experience before?
My friends always play Hearthstone, for example, so they dragged me into this, and now I like it.
So I see that you're here with your son. Do you both enjoy Hearthstone?
Absolutely, yes.
So this is something that you introduced to him, or he introduced to you. How did this happen?
Well, he introduced it to me, and I'm very fond of it. So we are playing together now.
Is he better than you?
Sometimes, yes. Sometimes he is. Yeah. I don't let him win. Absolutely not.
All right. Well, thank you so much for the interview, and good luck, because maybe you'll need it.
I love competitive dad. He really made it for me. How is that for you guys to see such footage of people explaining how they came around to play Hearthstone?
It feels really good, man.
I can
nice
imagine.
Meme. I love it. Yeah, I mean, that's part of what makes Hearthstone really special for people. It's just so easy and approachable. People can do it socially with their friends. They can also do it competitively if they want to get some of that strategy going. And that's what makes it really unique, because it just invites everybody in. That's the point of the design, right, Hamilton, when you're going for not just the original idea, but now even the future expansions.
Oh, for sure. I mean, from the very beginning, we've talked about how we wanted Hearthstone to be a game for everyone. And that's just as important now as it's ever been. So it's great to hear, all these people playing Hearthstone, some of them experiencing it for the first time and having a good time with it.
I think the really challenging thing too is that because it has to be a little bit for everything, or everybody, then you have to account for all kinds of experiences from the casual level to the high competitive level, and balancing the cards after you design such fun ones can be really tricky. And Mike, you're on the team that gets sometimes the most heat for it. So how do you balance the benefits of being able to play very relaxed and casually versus the super competitive pro scene, which we'll talk about later too?
Yeah, it's actually a lot of different things that we think about when we're designing cards. We care about like how easy it is to understand, how much fun it is, like how powerful it is. Also, does it match the flavor? There's a whole bunch of other factors, and we have to balance all of them at the same time. And sometimes we'll lean towards one of those things, like, oh, this freeze card isn't very fun, so we're going to make it less powerful. And sometimes like we'll make another guy who's like got tons of flavor, so we'll put him out there, like Ragnaros or you know, just
Fun.
like we really want to capture the idea of the card, and we'll do it even if we have to make the card, you know, feel really weird in other ways.
It must be really hard to like balancing everything when keep on adding new cards, which you basically just have to do. Now, with all the new cards from TGT, do you guys have any favorites? Anything you feel like, yeah, that's my thing?
Of the revealed so far.
Of the revealed so far. Damn it, why did you say that? I hope you get one more out of them.
Of the revealed so far, right? Yeah, let's not get too crazy. Let's not get them fired. Come on.
I have a lot of really favorite cards. One of the cards that is my favorite that's revealed is the Hunter card, Lock and Load. Lock and Load is a 2-mana spell. For the rest of the turn, whenever you play a spell, add a random Hunter card to your hand. And that card's really, really exciting because you don't know really what's going to happen with that card. Occasionally, when we're doing design, we have a card where like, wow, this card could be really broken. And we have to make a decision like, do we want to print this card that looks kind of dangerous? Or do we want to stop and be safe? I usually lean towards printing the cards that are a bit scary because I'd rather people have exciting and great stories and all these like things to discover on their own. And you know, it's risky because it's up to me to make the game balanced, but I think it's worth it because the game's just more fun that way.
Hamilton, do you have any favorites that stick out in your mind?
Oh, for sure. You know, I love a lot of the cards, but after a lot of deliberation and thinking it through logically, I'm going to go with Tuskar Jouster because it's a walrus riding a turtle.
Yeah, I saw that art.
I mean a Tuskar riding a turtle.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to put it out there. It's the best card in the whole set, including the ones we haven't revealed, because it's a walrus riding a turtle.
It's the 5-mana 5/5 that if you win the joust, you get 7 health, right?
That is irrelevant.
It's, yeah.
Are you not listening to me?
It's a walrus riding a turtle.
No,
right.
he's a really fun card
It's
too.
wildly imbalanced when you put it that way, now that I think about it. Get to work, Mike.
How about you, Crib? What has been your favorite so far?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't really thought about it too much, but
It's
to
just
comment on
impressive,
Lock
isn't
and
it?
Load, I really like cards just in that theme that can produce like an amazing, memorable moment. Like it's gonna be that one time where you played Lock and Load and you had no chance,
right?
And somehow you got like 6 arcane shots in a row.
Yeah.
And it's just, you know, it's those moments that everybody in the community appreciates so much. And I really love when cards are released that have the possibility to deliver that.
All right, well, we do have 2 more cards to introduce to you guys, and I'm really excited because I think these ones are pretty juicy. So what's the first one we have up on screen here? We have Fist of Jaraxxus.
Fist of Jaraxxus is a new Warlock spell. It does 4 damage for 4 mana, but it has the added bonus of if you discard it, you play it for free.
Oh, okay, so you don't have to pay the 4 mana at all. So if you play a card that discards like Soulfire and it discards the Fist of Jaraxxus, it hits an enemy for 4.
Yeah, a random enemy for 4 for 0 mana.
That's interesting. Because now everyone always thought about discarding as a drawback, unless you want to weed your deck out a little bit. But that's really interesting. So, Crip,
yeah, I really like that depth. It's like so hard to really understand this card because all the decks that involve discard mechanics either circumvent it with Void Caller or they just play out everything and they call it Zood, right? So this is kind of against that. The card just by itself, if you're playing it for 4 mana, you're generally going to be pretty sad because hitting something randomly for 4 is usually not going to hit the thing you want.
Right.
But having that extra bonus as a discard mechanic suddenly makes cards that were thought to be kind of, you know, mediocre or bad, you know, suddenly you start to think about it like, maybe I want a Succubus in my deck.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Not bad. I mean, it'd be interesting because all of a sudden you have to create another dynamic. It's like normally you're controlling the state of the board so that random damage can be most effective. But now you have to calculate, you know, the card percentages of discarding if that's the case, and then be able to incorporate it. I really like the depth. It's really cool. Really cool.
I like how the devs always nod along with everything Crip says. Like he's analyzing it. They're like, that's exactly what we intended. That's perfect.
They're like, yes, please say more nice things. We love it. Well, we do have one more card, and hopefully we can live up to the expectations because it is going to be the final one of the day. And it's an epic card. It's a weapon that
Charged
says
Hammer.
Death Rattle. Your hero power becomes...
Maybe you can help us with which class gains this.
So this is a shaman weapon.
It's a
called
okay, it's hard to
Charged
see from
Hammer.
here.
4 mana, 2 attack, 4 durability. Death Rattle, your hero power becomes deal 2 damage.
So you can't summon totems anymore for the rest of the game.
Right, your hero power becomes Jolt, and Jolt is deal 2 damage.
Huh. So now I can use Shaman to hit the face with my hero power. That's awesome. Now, wait, I do have a question.
It's not just the face. You can kill minions with it too.
Yeah, well, what's the point then? I mean, that's not why I play Hearthstone. There is a card that also increases the hero power, changes it, the Justicar card that's also been revealed so far. Does this interact with that at all?
So Justicar Trueheart, his ability is he replaces your basic hero power with an upgraded version. So if you don't have your basic hero power anymore, then he doesn't do anything for you. It only affects the 9 basic ones.
Okay. That was just my first thoughts here. So now Crip, our resident expert pro player, BlizzCon runner-up of 2013.
Wow, that's forever ago. Yeah, but it's a really cool card. I think the one thing I appreciate more than anything is Death Rattle on weapons, especially on a class that already has some. Because you don't feel bad for playing more weapons. Death Rattle on weapons is a mechanic that you can trigger by replacing your old weapon with a new one. So in a card like that has a lot of durability, you can choose, this turn I want to do 2 damage and I'll sacrifice the value that I have left in this weapon to try to push for tempo. And it's often these type of mechanics that involve some really high level play. It's usually the type of turns in the game. You switch from a game where you control the board, you do 2 damage to that, 2 damage to that, to, you have a very finite strategy. And being able to do 2 damage directly with your hero power makes it so you can, it kind of works in that push. It's an extremely flexible card in an extremely flexible and already probably maybe a bit too complicated class if we throw in that Inspire mechanic in the Shaman. So I really love it. It feels like Shaman might be one of those extremely high skill cap classes with TGT, and well, I'm pretty excited.
Sounds like you might have a new favorite card, but I do want to point out that Crip didn't see these cards. I did take a little peek at them. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. I'm human. But Crip didn't too, so that was a really good analysis, man. I'm really impressed by that.
So am I, and I'm pretty sure the devs enjoy hearing it firsthand from a pro player.
Yes, that's exactly what we intended, and they write down notes.
Now, of course, Crip is not the only pro we have here at Gamescom. No, we have a lot of show matches going on the main stage, as we already talked about the Heroes of the Storm one. We also had a Hearthstone show match on the main stage, so let's take a look at that.
I'm joined here by Trollden. So Trollden, what are you doing here at Gamescom?
Oh, I'm just gonna play some matches on stage, and I want to meet a lot of people because this is one of my favorite events.
Absolutely, it's huge. The Blizzard section specifically is particularly awesome, but you're getting ready to play against Crip up on the main stage. This would be your debut as a player, would it not?
Actually, last year I was here and I was playing on stage too. I lost though, so hopefully I win at least this time.
Well, good luck, Trollden, and hopefully the cards are on your side. Who are you cheering for, Crip or Trollden?
I think Crip. Crip.
I think Trollden's getting a little nervous. He's getting really indecisive with some of his plays when it seems fairly obvious what he has to do. Last year, Trollden lost 0-3 on the main stage here at Gamescom, and he's about to go down 0-2. It'd be pretty embarrassing if he went 0-6 over the course of 2 years. Let's hope that doesn't happen. Actually, totems are pretty sick. This is a really cool deck when you get to see it fully in action. Look at that. How do you stop this? You can't actually do it. Oh, that's it. Crip 1-2-0. What a boss. What did you think of that match?
I was sure Crip would win. I mean, he always wins.
Is there any favorite moment that you had in the match?
Yeah, totally when the totems got more and more attack. Because, I come from Warcraft originally, and I play Shaman since 10 years. And so I'm always on the Shaman side, also in Hearthstone. And I love it when a totem destroys somebody.
really strong. You can just play it for tempo, and then if you get the coder riders or other Inspire effects with the Shaman totems, it's just really, really strong.
So you think there's hope for Shaman in the Grand Tournament?
Of course. Shaman will be pretty strong, I guess.
On the count of 3, we all scream, never lucky to Crip, all right? 3, 2, 1, never lucky! It's actually my next tattoo, guys. I'm gonna get one
Never
saying
lucky.
never lucky directly on my forehead.
So it seemed like the cards weren't really on his side, did it?
Well, I mean, I think Crib put on a really good show of why people are looking forward to Inspire mechanic really well. So I definitely enjoyed it. There was a moment, though, where he could have went off with the Nexus champion, Sarad, and he chose to play the right play. And I was like, well, all right, but I could have been entertained way more. What's up with that, Crib?
I have to fill in here. The right play in that case was to buff a Mana Tide and a spell damage totem to 6 attack.
Yeah.
And to kill a Sludge Belcher with a spell damage totem and then kill him with a Mana Tide.
Right. But you could have also
That's
played
pretty
the Nexus.
special in its own way.
Yeah, 6 attack. I mean, it's like 2 Bloodlusts, right? That's what I was
Right.
saying in the video commentary. Really fun stuff overall. Did you enjoy being on stage there playing against Trollden? You've done it a couple days now.
Yeah, I like playing against Trollden. Being on stage is pretty cool. More than anything, I really appreciated just running with some of the new cards. Whenever I look at a card, I just think about like the dream scenario and when I get like the full experience.
Right.
And playing the decks, specifically I'll cite the Shaman game, where I was playing the, I think it's called the Thunderbluff Valiant, the one that buffs the totems, and it buffs the totem that you just triggered the Inspire mechanic off of. I mean, that card was off the wall,
Yeah.
Your opponent doesn't have an answer. It just steamrolls out of control, and it was so cool. It was as if, I was just spawning a ridiculous creature for free every single turn, and, you just gain appreciation for the card, and I gained a lot of appreciation for the mechanic itself. I kind of doubted Inspire, but after my experience playing with it, things really changed in my mind.
So you have to be careful, right, Mike? You were talking about the snowball effect with me off stream and how you have to be very cautious approaching it. And how does that relate to the entire set? Now you have to take into account the Grand Tournament.
Yeah, the Inspire ability is really powerful. People think about, hey, if this Inspire guy activates once and then dies, okay. But what they don't think about is what if he doesn't die? Like, what if he doesn't die? And sometimes it just means, oh, the game's over. You're gonna demolish your opponent. So it's really exciting. And Shaman in particular, Shaman has so many great cards. The ones we've announced, and my favorite Shaman card hasn't been really announced yet. It's awesome.
No, I can't handle any more hype, man. Come on, you guys
I can't wait to tell you about it.
Please do.
Well,
just write down a piece of paper and pass it.
They are off the wall.
Okay. What are some of the special moments that you see, Hamilton? Like, have you been able to catch on the show matches or some of the players here? Because I think people have been really enjoying these new mechanics. So, have you been observing anything trends that you see based off of what's been revealed at Gamescom?
Yeah, I mean, I got to walk around a little bit, not too much. Had a lot of other stuff lined up, but I think a lot of the special moments were like the ones that you captured in your video. It's great seeing people new to the game. It's especially wonderful seeing dads and sons playing together. And just enjoying Hearthstone. And some it's because it's new to them, some they've been playing and they're really excited about the new cards and the new content and new mechanics. But it's kind of everybody jumping in the pool together. That's really lovely.
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing that's really cool too is that Blizzard people are also big fans of their own game. That's right. We actually have really good players who are also devs. Everyone knows about Reels, for example. He's a very competitive player that joined the Balance team. But they don't know too much about Mike Donay, who's also a world champion at card games in his own legacy and history. And we had him face off against Crip to see who was better at Hearthstone forever, for the rest of time and eternity. And here's the result. We're here in Crip's corner. Crip, I want to know a couple of things. First off, you're playing Paladin. Are you excited to bring this class against Mike Donay?
Well, I didn't actually bring the class, but I'm pretty excited ending up with Paladin. Yep.
Crip already has a natural disposition against mages, and I think this is a really cool opportunity to show him that mage is fairly balanced and completely equal in terms of the playing field, correct?
Mage is fair and balanced. I think our Balance team does a fantastic job with that. But we're not going to see that here. We're going to see me demolishing, honestly.
All right, guys, it's time. Crip versus Mike Donay. It's a show match here at Gamescom to see who's going to win, Paladin versus Mage.
Jaina versus Luther.
All right, we're starting off in Crip's corner. This opening hand, man.
Yeah, the problem with the Argent Lance, it's a good card, but there's just so many good Paladin weapons already.
There it is, the Tusker Jouster. That card's pretty sick. It's one of my favorites. Where's the Joust? Where's the Joust?
Wow, I got wrecked.
Crip, I hate to share this with you, but this deck is made for jousting, and you lost your first joust. I don't think that's a very good omen.
No, I think it's downhill from here on.
Well, my deck has got some late game. I think he's slightly favored to win the Get Jousts, but he got a little bit unlucky on 2 of his jousts. So I'm actually still in it, and I think I'm still gonna win. Yeah, we're done here.
All right, so the first game is over, but you're right, Mike. You get another chance. Let's see if you can pull around. Pretty sure the UN is about to declare sanctions upon you with how many weapons you have.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope they remove them from my deck. It would be good. It'd be very useful.
It'd be useful. All right, Mike ties it up, but it's time for a half-court switch. Looks like Crip's gonna hop onto the Mage, and Mike's gonna go on the Paladin. Some words were exchanged. Pretty sure a few swearing and a little insults were tossed back and forth. A little bit of salt dashed here and there.
The battle! The battle! The battle! I have the power!
All right, so we're done with the games. It was really fun. Mike took it, but in the end, I think we had a lot of good entertainment. So shake hands, guys. I think it was all in good fun. No Saul, right, Crip?
Well, congratulations, Mike. And
no salt indeed.
well, Crip, how was it to play against one of the devs, though?
It was fun. I mean, again, actually, that experience was the first one that I ever had playing the new expansion, and it was the exact experience that people at Gamescom can also have in a Hearthstone area. Play Paladin versus Mage. It was pretty cool. Yeah, I got beat up a bit, but the decisive game, I blame RNG. Maybe the devs kind of know some tricks that we don't.
I think they rigged it.
Hearthstone. Yeah.
Also,
they just decide which order the cards come in, right?
Mike has a button.
Yeah.
Just anytime he presses
it's just like under the table, he just nudges it a little bit.
You have to actually click the terrain around the board just in the right order.
The secret code, right?
The RNG will be in your favor.
There's a lot of micro.
Gotcha. Well, we don't know too much about that. I do want to take this opportunity to apologize, Crip. I actually helped Mike a little bit in that series, too. I gave him some recon about your hand and secrets and stuff. But I'm coming clean. I just want to let you... Oh, he's pretty mad. Actually, it didn't even really matter. It was just one card. Mike, give me some thoughts about that match against Crip. Did you enjoy it?
The match was fun. It's always fun playing with new cards. You know, everyone loves that. Crip's an awesome player. I've watched him play Diablo since before he even knew about Hearthstone, and I've enjoyed that. And it's great to see him being a fan of multiple games. And I actually watched him play Path of Exile too. So playing against him is actually a great honor for me, and I'm glad that I was able to smash him.
That's right.
Lovely.
He stripped him of his pride. That's what he did. Well, guys, we're pretty much almost out of time, but we do want to get some questions for you.
Exactly, because with the grand tournament coming up, of course, audience will once more have a lot of questions, and we're going to take a look at some of them. So let's show the first one.
Hello, my name is Benoit Lambert, and my question is, when will you release a new class?
Oh.
That's a big one.
Wow, that's a doozy.
Well, yeah. So we're always thinking about like good ways to expand Hearthstone. Right now we have 9 classes, and each class we try to give it a really strong identity. Like the warrior is about armor, and the priest is about healing, and triggers off healing. Each class we want it to have its own identity, and we add more classes that would take away from the existing class's identity. So until we find some clever way to do that without watering down our current classes, we have no plans to add new classes.
All right, fair enough. That's a pretty short and simple, concise answer. So let's go ahead and see if we have any other questions here for our devs here.
Hello, my name is
is Leonie Schilling, and my question is, could you explain what has changed in ranked play in Hearthstone?
What else changed? A lot has changed, let me tell you.
Well, some.
Actually, at Gamescom, we announced a new feature. It's a quality of life improvement that we're excited about. People were coming and telling me about how they got to a really high rank and they stopped playing because they didn't want to lose that rank. So we came up with this new system which we call highest rank bonus. So now when you hit a high rank, it saves that rank to your quest log, and if you keep playing and go down in rank, your highest rank that you've hit in that month is saved there. Cool. And you get at the end of the month, you get a small bonus to sort of celebrate the highest rank that you hit in that month.
I love that, because that
Yeah.
makes people not afraid anymore to play and eventually lose their rank, right? Now, we have one more question for you guys.
Hi, my name is Sharif Ibrahim, and my question is, will you keep bringing as much content as now, or will you slow down in the future?
Well, I certainly hope it's not a bad answer, but Hamilton, why don't you go ahead and take this one?
That's a great question, and one that's very near and dear to our hearts, especially as we're on the cusp of releasing our next expansion. You know, like we talked about a little earlier today, it's always been a super important part of Hearthstone that it's a game for everyone, and that includes people who've been playing since the beginning and people who are just coming in, like we saw in the video earlier. So we really need to make sure Hearthstone's a great experience for all of those, and you know, we want to make sure we're adding content in a way where people see enough change and interestingness and you know, deck building creativity, but not overwhelm these new players. You know, something we've been thinking about as we've gotten a little bit of content under our belt is, you know, enter the future, like you were talking about. And Blizzard has a couple games that have kind of set the bar pretty high for how long a game can be amazing. And we don't want to let our brothers down. So we would, you know, we really want Hearthstone to be an amazing game, you know, 10 or 20 years from now. And as we, you know, move forward, we really got to figure out how we handle content to satisfy all those goals. It's not going to be easy, but it's certainly something that we have super smart minds on.
That's awesome, man. That's great to hear that there's such long-term project plans for Hearthstone. It's doing so well. I'm so glad to see that you guys are able to even share with us and reveal some cards. So thank you so much for everybody stopping by. Thank you, Crip, for coming out here to Gamescom. I guess you had the final words to say.
Make it good. Wow.
Make it good. No pressure.
On the spot.
Well, thanks for watching, guys. My experience, my first Gamescom has been truly a wonderful one. Even a scary one at some points with, you know, the amount of passion and really the amount of gamers here. It's really scary.
Absolutely.
But you guys should experience it at least once. So if not this time, maybe next year.
Yeah, sounds good. Well, thank you so much again for everybody who's tuned in. That wraps up our Hearthstone section. We're going to, after this jump, be able to wrap up the day and see what we can have for tomorrow.
Oh, Frodan, what a day it has been and what a show it has been. I love having devs here, even more so if they share some really exclusive stuff just for our stream right there.
Absolutely. We got to see a lot of what we've already seen, more in depth explained, but we also got to see exclusive content and new heroes and Heroes of the Storm, as well as new cards for the upcoming expansion of the Grand Tournament.
Yeah, and it's really great to just be able to pick their minds, ask questions. I mean, the audience even got to ask questions. And yeah, as I said, there's a lot happening here on stream, but of course there's also a lot happening on the stage and in the booth. And of course we wrapped the whole last 2 days up a little bit for you and put it into a video.
I mean, I killed him with totems.
I will destroy him someday.
It's just amazing. All the people are so amazing. It's just an amazing time here.
So we're done with Heroes and Hearthstone. As you guys saw in the video, we also have a preview of things to come on Sunday with the World of Warcraft devs, as well as tomorrow we've got some extra stuff bonuses.
Exactly. So we still have 2 packed days, as you were able to see in the video. On the stage, we had the dance contest, which I got to watch, which was so much fun. We had all those show matches already, and so much more to come for the next 2 days. But once more, we want to remind you that there is still the contest going on over at blissgc.com, where you can vote for your very favorite entrances. This contest has been going on for 6 weeks now. Each week, they added a new, contest, how would you say that? Like a goal,
next stage
and it's stage, kind of thing. So you had to send in stuff according to the theme. One was cute, the other one was friends, one was Blizzard in real life, and one was battle, I believe. So there were 6 different ones, and that means we have a lot of different entries. They're very interesting. So definitely head over to the website and make sure to vote for your favorites. At the end of all the broadcasts together on Sunday night, we're going to have our first place, and I can't wait to see that one.
That's right. So make sure, again, blizzgc.com, where you can find who to vote for, as well as an opportunity just to catch up on everything that Blizzard has here at Gamescom. Tomorrow, what are we going to see, Zoe?
Tomorrow, we're actually going to have Overwatch, the new game coming up for Blizzard, and I'm really excited about that one. And of course, we're also going to have Legacy of the Void. So once more, for both of those games, we're going to have developers joining us here in the studio, talking to us and giving us some insight.
That's right. So guys, that's it for us from Zoe and Frodan. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys tomorrow night for more action here at Gamescom.